All right, so recently Brendan Schaub posted this video to Twitter of him buying his mother-in-law a house and giving her the keys, which is very nice. You know, a lot of people in the comments are like, "Oh, dude, that's awesome. I'm proud of you." Even people on the Fighting the Kids subreddit had to show him some respect. But of course, the timing of this is a little strange. Like right when he gets exposed for cheating, he posts this. So I don't think it's really a coincidence. And I think he probably knew BGL was going to expose him for that eventually because, I mean, he has all these messages and he was doing whatever he can to expose Brendan. So, of course, this is going to come eventually. And Brendan's just so stupid for sending all this to him. I mean, of course, this is going to come back to bite you. You know, you never want to fire your baddie wrangler because then he has all this dirt on you. And BGL actually recently did another interview with the MMA holes on their YouTube channel. And he talked about some of his duties as a baddie wrangler.
Because it is all over the place, these baddies. So were you the guy? So you were the guy that wrangled the baddies? Were you the dude?
Yeah. Well, see, I'll be very specific here. I was relaying messages back and forth. So these messages would come at like all hours of the day. Like that's one of the more exhausting parts of the job and kind of why I was offended when Brendan would be like, "Oh, Mark's like not working hard enough." It's like, dude, I'm on call for you 24/7 doing the stupidest not like, you know, you're on your phone too much. He used to say that to me, and that's like one of these criticisms. It's like, I'm on my phone too much. Or he's like, "Oh, you came in late," you know, like that was one of the things he said to you. And I'm like, name one time I came in late. Like, you mean when I wake up and I'm editing at 8 a.m. and like fielding your like social media, check my DMs requests. So, and then I come into the office at 11, but I've already been working for 3 or 4 hours. It's very exhausting because it's such an inefficient use of anyone's time. And I think the only reason that he had somebody else do this was plausible deniability to his wife that, how could I be cheating on Instagram? I don't even have it on my phone, you know? And so I forget when it started, but it was like, I started to realize, like, he asked more directly, but he'd always ask about DMs. He'd be like, any DMs, any DMs, any DMs. And like, at first it was just that but how socials kind of mean, it's like, I'd be like, "Oh, here's the screenshots of how the posts are performing." And then he'd follow up. It's like, well, that's not what I want. Like, so he wouldn't be specific. He'd be like, "How's socials?" But that really means how's DMs. And that really means, are there any hot chicks in my inbox messaging me who might live in the area that I want to go do comedy in this weekend?
So it's hilarious that Brendan thought that was a good idea. Like, he thought it'd be better with his wife if he's not directly talking with these girls and he doesn't have Instagram, so then he could deny it. But of course, that was an awful decision that ended up just backfiring on him because he trusted BGL with this. And now BGL has all these messages and he's releasing them. So he would have been a lot better off if he wasn't doing it this roundabout way. You know, Mark wouldn't have these messages. He wouldn't have to be doing all this extra work for Brendan. You know, this was like a full-time job. It was like every day he had to respond to them. And it's just so stupid the way Brendan was going about this. I'd feel like an idiot doing this for him. Like, he tells you what to say and then you wait for this girl to respond. And even before she responds, Brendan's like, "Is she responding yet? Did the baddie get back to me?" And just saying baddie like every 5 seconds, I'd lose my mind. And it's just hilarious that Brendan trusted Mark with all this, probably because they're pretty similar. You know, they both seem pretty narcissistic and petty for sure. Clearly Mark, he's doing whatever he can to get back at Brendan. And now I guess Brendan is trying to spread rumors about Mark and why he fired him. And while Mark was doing this interview, he pulled up this voice message that one of Brendan's baddies sent him.
So Brendan and I have been talking. He's been nice and acting normal. Told me that he had to fire you due to drug abuse and domestic violence. I acknowledge that, but I just wanted to let you know that's what he's telling people. He's just flipping the script like he usually does and saying you're the crazy one and he had to fire you because you were abusive to your wife and you have a drug addiction. I can't even. I feel bad being in the middle because I work in the law industry, so I know like this, all these things. I'll talk to you soon.
Wow.
And then it was verified by another one of his side pieces, you know, who he claims all these girls are the only ones that he talks to and, you know, he's going to leave his wife for.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is with that voice message. It did sound a little suspicious. I mean, she kept saying the same thing over and over again. And then she said she worked in the law industry and she knows this is sketchy stuff. I don't know what that has to do with anything. And she was just taking forever to get to the point. So who knows how legit this is. I think Mark, maybe this is his baddie trying to pretend like she's Brendan's baddie and just saying what Mark wants her to say or something. And then at the end, of course, Mark takes a shot at Brendan. He's like, oh yeah, he's telling all these girls that his wife, he's going to leave his wife for them, even though he just got caught cheating and his wife's trying to expose him. I mean, this whole thing is so ridiculous. It's completely out of control, but it's really entertaining. So let me know what you guys think about it all. And then make sure you check out my Patreon. I just posted a video there about Bobby Lee. There's a comedian trying to expose him right now and trying to cancel him. So check that out and make sure you leave me a comment here. Let me know what you think about it all. Then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.